Hey, it's another video from Dead Game Time. We're going to review the Blackbox Simulations Shorts 330. And the best way I can describe this for you, everybody, I've watched a couple of videos and several people have said, oh, it's 50 euros or it's 50 bucks. It's not $50. It's $56, $57 when you do the translation from euros to dollars. I guess people aren't aware that dollar is not exactly one euro. But it's about 56 bucks. You get 9 planes, you get a bunch of liveries, you get military planes, you get cargo planes, you get airliners, you get, it's a bush plane. It's just about everything to everybody. Um, and this, is it worth 50 bucks? I guess that's the real question, isn't it? That's the first thing everybody wants to know when they look at a plane because, money doesn't grow on trees. So let's, unless you own an apple orchard. The plane itself, it's not bad. It really isn't bad. First of all, the armrests move, so I'm a happy guy. I can actually look at everything in the plane, which is positive. I can't make the yokes disappear, though, which, which is a little weird. Is it worth the money? It's up to you. Here's how I would describe it. If I took you out to dinner and I bought you a fancy French meal, and it came with all the courses, and it came with wine, and I paid for everything, and you walked away and you asked me how much it costs, and I told you, well, it was extremely expensive, but I'm not going to tell you, and you'll say, it was worth it because of the quality of the meal, right? This isn't a bad plane at all, but this is like going to a burger joint. You can't go to a burger joint and ask for, a 7-course French dinner. It's just not going to happen. It's sort of the wheelhouse for black box simulations, but don't underestimate it. It's the quality of it is there. It's the modeling. There might be some modeling issues. There might be some things that you overlooked. There might be a real world shorts pilot who comes along and says, well, it should have this, it should have that. Possible. Yeah, right? I get it. Okay, here we have the cargo deck and the doors open here on the shorts Sherpa, and I've just painted this thing recently for the guys that I fly with. So here's what we have. I'll be honest with you, it's about what you should get for a shorts plane. There's the door. I can open windows. I've got lights that light up. Well, of course, there's no power on the plane right now, but the textures could use a little work, but that's black box for you. That's just kind of how he does things. It's a burger. But it's going to be the best burger you ever had. That's the best way I can put it. Things that I have problems with it. I'll get those out of the way right now. I'm having a little trouble with Spadnex trying to figure out where everything is located on this thing, but that's probably me. I'm not a genius with Spadnex. Number 2, this yoke. It looks like a moose's antlers. A shorts yoke is not that wide. But I don't have a problem with it. The texture in the middle of the thing, not super clear, not great, not high texture, but the frame rates are pretty good. The systems depth is there. It's a quality plane. It is absolutely the best hamburger plane you'll get when you buy black box simulations. Is it worth the money? Yeah, it actually is. I would like that a little narrower, the yoke, if I'm going to pick on anything. It shouldn't be wider than the seat, and it is. The bottom cushion, it should be slightly narrower than the bottom cushion. It looks like he went a little crazy. You learn a lot about creators of aircraft when you go through their variables that they use, too, and he's picked some interesting names for some of the variables in here, and I'll just leave it at that. And it's a little hard to find some things to get the controls set up, but it's not bad. So let's get some power set to it, and the sounds are good. I had a problem with another plane that I reviewed earlier, and the armrests wouldn't work, and the sounds were kind of a mess. But what would you rather have? Are there issues with the textures and the modeling? No, there's really not. Are they the highest quality? No, but I'm getting a hamburger, and I'm getting the best dang hamburger I've ever had. I'm not getting a 7-course French meal. And that's what I need for this kind of plane anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much to me. So let me go ahead and turn the battery on. I've got my all set up on my Honeycomb, look at that. I got both batteries set up. Woohoo! So I got my batteries set up. What's that one do? That's the internal power. I don't really need that yet, I don't think. There's, is that the inverters? No, what is that? That's avionics power. There's the inverters. I don't need the inverters on yet. So let's go ahead and turn on, let's turn on the beacon outside so they know we're getting ready to start. Take the props out of feather. Let's try to get this engine started here. Fuel boost pumps on. Looks like we've got some fuel here. We're good to go that way. Boost pumps are on. We'll go ahead and start the right engine. We're going to hit start. Wait for the switch to come off. Hit ignition normal. Wait for the gas generator to build up. Looking at some T's and P's here. Little oil pressure coming up. No oil temperature. Gas generators climbing. It's at about 20. Add some fuel. You hear it kick on. ITT goes in. Nothing's going up to the red range. Perfect. Came back down. Nice start. Okay. And it says it's a good start. We'll turn on the start on the left engine. The switch goes off. Hit normal. Wait for that gas generator to build up. Now look at that. See, everything's righting itself the way it should as power comes into the plane. It's the system's depth is there. So if you complain about this plane because of the systems, you're wrong. If you complain about it because of and there we go. There's engine number 1 coming on, our left engine, and you'll see he's slowly. I mean, the animations are good. It's timed right. The engine will slowly build up speed. I can't complain about it. It's really good. I really do like the plane. We're going to turn on navigation lights. Let's make sure our compass and whatnot are set. We'll go ahead and check on our T's and P's here. Make sure everything looks good. Everything's in the green on the right engine. So I'm going to go ahead and give it full fuel, and it'll pick up more speed. Let's keep watching over here. Temperature and pressure of the oil is now in the greens on the left engine. We'll go ahead and add that in there. And since we've done that, we'll come up here and we'll go ahead and we'll turn on those inverters and the avionics and the generators and blah 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 blah. There's our generators. Try to turn on the pitot heat, and it doesn't animate the switch for some reason. I don't know what I've got to figure out there, but we're going to be sitting here a while. I'll just give you guys a heads up. The plane is cold right now, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. There's one of my other complaints. There's a couple of switches, not many, but a couple of switches that when you roll over them with your mouse, you know, like if you want the switch to go up, you roll up. If you want the switch to go down, you roll down. That's how most of this stuff works in Flight Sim. You expect certain things. There's a few switches in here that he's got backwards. I'm sure he'll fix it. He's been phenomenal. I've been with Blackbox flying planes, his planes. He doesn't pay me to do this, obviously. I bought the plane myself, which is why I'm commenting that it's expensive, but I think it was absolutely worth every penny that I spent. Let's come over here and take a look at our heat. Fans are on. How's our temperature doing? Whoop, dude. Co-pilot's getting in my way, so we're going to have to come over here and take a look. Alright, roll, and there's another switch. You got to roll the opposite direction. Turn it to heat. Temperature. Can't change the temperature, and it's on auto. And cabin anti-fog turned on. Okay, the lights, emergency lights are working there, so we know if there's a problem. That's all good. no idea what the 2D panel light is, but I'll look at the manual later. What do I need the manual for, right? Let's take a look at the overhead again. I thought I turned on the windshield heat. Maybe I didn't. Oh, there's another one. Got to roll it down to make it go up, and roll it up to make it go down. Weird. Manual that this thing comes with is 117 pages. Massive manual. And you think, well, the plane isn't that complicated. It's actually really well done. Like I've said, I'm very happy with the depth of the system. The system's depth is there. Let's turn off our control locks. And we're just gonna have to wait for the heat to build up in here because these windows are frozen. Listen to that. He did it. He's got sound that matches when you open the door. It's great. Alright, now I'm going to turn off COM 1 and I'll let you take a look. Hey, see, COM 1 radio's off. Circuit breaker. And nav 1. Nav 1 radio's off. Circuit breakers are working. Radar altimeter. That's right here. It's showing a few feet above. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Is it working? Nope. It turned the power off and everything. Perfect. Okay. Weather radar. Bring it up. This is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. If you grew up when I did, you'll know this. Stuff like this is. Watching that turn off like that's pretty cool. I really enjoy seeing somebody do that. Now it's weird because it'll go off and then it comes back on, so there's a little issue there. Standby for now. You set it to test and it'll do the little test, and it's just a sort of a old school black and white radar. I mean, it's not a modern radar. You shouldn't expect it to be. Put it back in standby. Let's change our transponder code here. 3. Okay, I think we've got all those set. Set this to altitude and see how our window's coming along. Is it thawing out at all? Is anything thawing out? No, we are a solid block of ice. So what are we not doing here? Okay, stall vanes are heated up. Heated up. Propeller heat on, windshield heat on. This one says inoperable for the right side. That makes sense. Anti-icing vanes, all that stuff's on. Let's go ahead and turn on the overhead panels, the emitters, sort of the way this thing lights up is pretty cool. We're starting to get some light lessening of the ice. It's not quite as solid, I guess. That's about all I can say. Maybe if I turn the fan on, turn that one on too. Maybe we can get. Turn on our taxi light and landing lights. Nah, it's not going to do any good. What else can we do here? Booster pumps are on. Anti-icing. I think we've done everything that we can possibly do. It's just a matter of waiting now. I think I let it get too cold. We sat out for too long. Stall warning. Stall warning. High speed warning. Fire warning. Fire warning. Reserve power. Reserve power auto feather test. Okay, went right into feather. Awesome. I mean, I don't know what else you could possibly want. Let's go ahead and get these lights on. Get these lights on. The avionics volume is on. Let's see. What else can we do? There's so many things to play with in this plane. And I mean, I did not expect it. Honestly, did not expect to see. And the ice is lightening up a bit. Wonder if we could use the wipers to remove any of it. Let's put those on slow. Hey, look at that! Oh no! I mean, how often have you seen working wipers in this sim? Somebody did it. It's pretty cool. All right, okay. Calm down, right? We'll go ahead and release our parking brake. Pray to God we don't kill ourselves now. Turn on the head tracking. And taxi on out. Oh, Lordy. Oh, taxi lights on. There we go. Let's see. Is that a nav light? Yeah, it is a nav light. Okay. Beacon on top. There's no strobe that I can find. This is our little cargo hauler for Alaska. And look at the cable bouncing back and forth up there for the light. And the lights, the cable there, it's working. It's working. I'm very happy if you can't tell. So, is it worth the money? Yeah, absolutely it's worth the money. I've had a great time playing with it already. We can go out here and we can fly a circuit, and I do want to say that I saw the Dash 7 came out, like I said, with a patch the other day, and one of the things he fixed, somebody had made a comment in my last video that when you get over 1600 RPM, hey, we don't even need the wipers anymore. It's warmed up enough in here, I guess, that we can turn that off. But when you get over a certain number of RPMs, it should bring up the flaps, and now he's fixed it. So the people at Pilots have fixed that. So where are we on our flaps setting? Ooh, outside temperature is about -7 centigrade, Celsius, however you choose, whatever you choose to call it. And I know we're supposed to have a flap. Oh, there it is. I forgot it's down there. So we're down above the condition levers, but it's right there. You see it? Right here. That's your flap indicator. It's not super clear, but that's the way it is in the real plane. You can't complain too much about the realism of it, but let's go ahead and put in, we'll just do 3 notches of flap. I don't see a reason to ever put in more than that for a departure with a long runway. Standby. Go ahead and there's our test. We're going to start cooking some people here shortly. And we'll give it a 10-mile range. And we'll enter the runway. Probably could turn off the fans now. There's no reason to have it on. If I can hold my head steady enough. There we go. Turn it off. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a quick flight out in this thing. We'll just try to stay in the traffic pattern as best I can. Auto feather lights have come on. Still get that 2020 sticky wheel problem. Okay, here we go. Full throttle, full props, everything's going. We're well above our takeoff speed, so we're good. There come our here comes our gear. Turn off that taxi light, don't need it. Everything's nice and warm in the cockpit now. Climb up to about 2,500 feet. And we came off of runway 20, so we're going to be in a left traffic pattern here at Fairbanks. And I haven't quite made 2,500 feet yet, but we're going to go ahead and start a climbing turn as we cross over the end of the runway there. We're going to leave full RPM going, just because I don't want to get into a situation where we have to throw the levers forward again. There's no point in that, really, right? So let's keep coming around, keep coming around, keep coming around. 90 degrees to the runway, and we'll make a whoa. Sorry about that. Getting some skippy dippies there. Don't know what happened. We'll give it a second. Whoop, altitude's continuing to climb. Let's trim down just a touch. Oh, you know what we could do? Could bring in those flaps. That would help. Dead, you goofus. Well, let's go ahead and leave the landing lights on. We're at below 10,000 feet. I want people to be able to see us. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that 21 marker now at our 6 o'clock on the HSI, and that should put us pretty much parallel to the runway. We continue coming around, coming around. There we go. Whoops, daisy, rolled out. Still trimming up too high. Let's lose some of this altitude now. There's Fairbanks Airport now off to our left. That's the problem, is we're going to build speed when you dive, so as we lose that altitude. It's a big flying box. There's just, I mean, it's a shoebox. It's a chubby little shoebox with wings that looks like it shouldn't fly. Why this thing didn't get called the Bumblebee is beyond me, because that's what it looks like to me. Just looks like a bumblebee. Still need to take the moment to figure out how to hide the yoke. Haven't figured that out yet. We'll figure it out sooner or later. Okay, there's 2,500 feet. Turn our head tracking back on. And the runway's just about over our shoulder, which is where I'm going to want it. Push. And we'll start our turn here in a minute. Okay. We've lost sight of the runway out of our left window, so we're going to assume it's a little further back, and we're going to start descending into Fairbanks. And as we do, we'll throw in a notch of flaps, and we'll bring the gear down. Is that correct procedure? I don't know, but that's what we're going to do for now. Lots of visibility out of that window. Our runway. We'll keep coming around and coming around. Take more throttle out now. Add some more flaps. And continue our descent down into Fairbanks. Turn that taxi light on. Hopefully we make the turn well enough. There we go, more or less where we wanted to be. Except our speed is still killing us a bit, so we'll add more flap in. That'll give us some drag and hopefully bring us down. We'll get hopefully a good landing. My practices with this plane have not been good. It's a different character for sure to learn to fly, and I have not yet learned to master this plane at all. So, throw some more flap in, bring some throttle in to bring us up a bit. Once you start into an approach, of course, you know, your throttle is what controls your altitude, not your nose. Your nose controls your speed, so we want to bring our nose up and bring the throttle down. Okay, here we go. And of course, we went way too high. And flaps are full now. We have plenty of drag. Hopefully we'll touch down in the touchdown zone and with a decent touchdown rate and not some of the stuff I had done earlier, which was embarrassing, and I would have hated to have filmed it because that would have been embarrassing. All right. Oh, we're over. We're long. It's a little hard too, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it because you know why that is. To be a safe pilot, you want to get down on the runway with a little bit of a firm touch. You don't want to be one of these guys who thinks that, oh, I got a -3 feet per second. Well, that's dangerous. Yeah, see, here's where we meant to touch down, and here's where we did. That's not great. We got to bounce, too, so... I complain about other people's flying, and then I do something stupid like that, or some poor airmanship. But I'm not a real 737 pilot, or a real pilot, or a real Airbus pilot, but I am a real-world Boeing passenger. And me being a passenger on a Boeing 737 is about as relevant as being a pilot on a 737 and flying this plane. My opinion's about as valuable, I suppose. Plus, it's flight simulation. There is no way this is going to get you prepared for... You're not going to be a pilot, I'm sorry. You're learning to fly a flight simulator, and it's a lot of fun. It always has been fun. It's a great hobby. But let's face it, you're not going to learn to be a pilot from this. You don't learn the feel and some of the things necessary. You might learn some of the steps and, you know, some of the procedures and some of the radio communication if you practice it properly, but you're not going to be a pilot. So, don't beat yourself up over it. Do your best, have fun, enjoy what we're doing. And every now and then, get yourself a really good hamburger of a plane. That's what we have, a really good hamburger, and it came right back on even though I turned it off. Put itself right into standby again. And I can't do anything about it. I can't turn it to anything else because it's completely off. So some of the switches are backwards, the radar doesn't stay off when you put it off. But those are tiny, tiny, tiny complaints. For such a phenomenal plane. I really, like I said, I have had a blast flying this thing. I paid for it yesterday, and that's a bit of a shocker to see the sticker price for it, but like I said, you're getting 9 planes and lots of liveries, and thus far experience with things like the Islander have been really positive in the flight sim community. He's been pretty good about updating things, so I'm not gonna complain too much about it anyway. I'm happy with this plane. I think it is absolutely worth the money that I paid for it. Your mileage may vary. I've pointed out the things I am unhappy about, but they're kind of few and far between, to be honest with you. So I'm not gonna... And of course, I had to overcome the ground stick in 2020, and now I'm getting some lag, and it's because of this Project Fairbanks, I think. Alright, we'll park it there for now. Turn off the head tracking. We'll kill the engines. And those work on the right switches, so that's not bad. Turn the generator off. Inverters are off. Pitot heat can come off. Turn off all these lights, with the exception of... Let's leave the nav on. No. Beacon's the one we need on, right? Okay, that's the inverters. What did I set this one to? Is this... Yeah, that's that one. Alternator is going to be internal power, and then there's the battery. Okay. So there we go. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, whatever, so we get more people in here. I'll try to make more content if we get people watching the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you stopping by and watching. And remember, you don't have to be a real pilot to pretend to be one.